Hi, everybody. It's Mary Wieden. We are live here this lovely Tuesday, and I'm just thinking that next Tuesday you'll probably want to talk about ice fishing because the temperature is going to be about 20 degrees by the time we get started. Just kidding, folks. We do not have like 4 feet of ice on any of our lakes and where you can drive your car and take your fishing hut with you and sit out there for days and do that kind of stuff. We don't have that here. But anyway, chilly here, but we're going to the dogs today. I hope you got dog music lined up, Lance. Some sort of dog music or dog sound effects or something like that, because this is my favorite show to do every year. The Magnolia Classic Dog Show is this weekend. And folks, I've been telling you for years, if you don't go to that show, you're really missing out on a whole lot of stuff. And I've got 2 important people very involved with the show here in the studio today. And by the way, it's free. You can give a couple bucks if you want to, make a donation, but you don't have to. And it's a big show this year. I mean, it's always an important show. This one's big. And I've got here sitting across from me, I have got Roxanna Hillsman. She is the chairman of the show. She's the president of the Mississippi Kennel Club and a dog aficionado, and Frenchies are her dogs. And then I have sitting with her a man who was on the show a couple of years ago, Adam Protos. He's a doctor in real life, but he's also a Great Dane owner, and he just became, rather recently, a judge for Great Danes. Congratulations to you, because a couple of years ago you were just starting off on your training. So, welcome, you two.
Thank you.
Glad to be here. You know, we know this is a big show. What's bigger about it? It's big this year. What's bigger about it this year?
Well, we have several specialties which added to our entry. We have a toy specialty. And we had 260 dogs on Saturday?
Yeah, we have several. We have several specialties which have really boosted the entry. That, and we've tried to go to a better date that is on a holiday weekend as well. And so we have a Basset Hound specialty, we have a toy specialty, we have a Dachshund specialty. And for listeners that don't know what that is,
I don't know what a specialty means either myself.
So we, the Mississippi State Kennel Club, host the All Breed Show, which is the Magnolia Classic. Mm-hmm. But then we also partner with several breed clubs that are focused on a specific breed. And then there are shows that are kind of around our show that feature just that breed. And they bring in a judge who is really a breed expert and a specialist in that breed. And so that will really help boost the breed entries in those breeds. So we have a Labrador Retriever specialty
and
this year, which is really great.
We're fortunate now to have Dr. Fran Smith, who's the president of the Orthopedic Foundation for Animals. Anybody who has ever had their dog's hips OFA'd, she's the president of that organization. And she brought in the Labrador Retriever specialty, which has brought in a huge number of labs, and Adam can elaborate.
Which the OFA
stands for
Orthopedic Foundation for Animals, is a huge international organization that has been an advocate for canine and breed health since the 70s. And we just so happen to be lucky enough to have Dr. Fran Smith, who is a member of our club and has really provided a lot of guidance, not only from the health aspect, but also putting together health clinics, which will also be at our show, where dogs will be screened for different diseases and ailments and things like that could affect their breeding.
Are labs particularly prone to hip dysplasia? Or are some breeds are and some aren't?
Well,
and I don't know which is which. But
labs they're a working breed, so they have to have good hips. They have to have great hips, whereas French Bulldogs notoriously don't have great hips, but we do OFA anyway. But our hips, because we're stocky little dogs and we're basically bred to be lap dogs, don't have to have the hips labs do. So it's very important to lab breeders to have good hips.
It so happens that Roxanne breeds Frenchies, and you pretty big Frenchies. I mean, you've got some big clients. You've had some pretty famous people, and you've got a lot of dogs out in L.A. Are they all right?
I do. They're all. I checked with all the owners. One of them had to evacuate. One other owner, the sleep doctor, who actually studied at university, but now is the famous sleep doctor on Good Morning America. He and his wife have 2 from me. They had another one that had passed away. They've had him from me for years, and they're going to evacuate. They're kind of watching right now. They said they can't really let the Frenchies out. They're a little below, maybe 20 miles from where the real bad stuff is, but the quality of the air is so bad that they're having to evacuate. And like I said, won't even let the Frenchies outside.
Wow. And you have Great Danes, but they're in Mississippi. You got Danes.
Yeah. Well,
how
they're
many
all
do you
over.
have? This is. You breed?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I've bred and shown
that.
Great Danes for about 30 years.
Oh, so you got progenitors
lots and lots of champions.
Place.
But yeah, they've they've spread outward, so they're all corners.
You
of
have
the
in
United
your
States.
domicile, in your home, you've got how many? 3?
I own 3 Great Danes right now.
But you're getting something else to bring to them.
Yeah, they have no idea what's coming their way. We have. I'm getting a Scottish Terrier, branching out into a new breed. I mean, I'll always have Great Danes. That's my first breed,
yes.
and my
until you have a tiny dog, then you might change your mind.
World of dog shows. Yeah, the Great Danes may go on strike. I think the Scotty's very bossy.
Well, the Scotty is going to boss those Danes around.
It's very bossy
that'll be fascinating. You got to tape a lot of that stuff.
Which is a whole nother discussion about why do dogs have different temperaments? Why do they do what they do?
People, why are people like that?
And there's always some variability in personality, just like people. But dogs really have personalities that reflect the jobs that they were bred to do.
What was the Great Dane job?
The Great Dane was originally an estate guardian and a boar hunter in Germany, and so. Everybody assumes that because there's Dane in its name that it's from Denmark, but the Great Dane is actually the original country of a Great Dane is Germany, and they were bred to be, like I said, guardians and boar hunters, and that's why their ears are cropped today, because originally, like we always talk about form and function in show dogs, and originally when the Great Dane was hunting a large, powerful query like a boar, long floppy ears could get torn or injured. So that's why they started cropping the dog, so they wouldn't be injured when they were hunting the prey.
And what about Frenchies? What were they bred to do originally?
Frenchies don't have quite the class of the Danes. They were kind of they would accompany the French prostitutes and were their lap dogs at the turn of the century. And then they really caught on and became very popular. But we
got to have a gimmick.
What a gig!
Gotta have a gimmick. A lot of it's interesting. So many of the breeds have such interesting histories. We were talking a little bit about it before we went on the air. I did not know that about the Frenchies. Storied past.
The things you learn here.
But also the Pekingese. People say, well, what did the Pekingese do? What on earth?
Yeah, that's what I call the box of hair. Yeah. I'm sorry, folks, but that's the way they show them. What is that for fun?
Yeah, what on earth could that dog do?
Right.
And some dogs were bred from the very beginning to be companion dogs. So, the Pekingese were bred to be owned by the royal Chinese family, the imperial family in Beijing. No one else was permitted to own them. And that's why they were bred to have that shape and that size, because they were actually meant to be carried around in the sleeves of the emperor and the royal family.
Well, I know something about, and you got 6 of them this year, and I love the name of it because you have to see it in writing, and then you have to work on memorizing it to say it right. But the Xoloitzcuintli, it's known just as the Xolo. It's the Mexican hairless dog, and as I understand, they were originally, but they're used as like hot water bottles. If somebody's sick, you have one next to you because they're hot. They have a high temperature, as dogs do, and they'll lie with you forever if you're a sick person and you need to have some hot water treatment. That's what they do. Did you ever hear that one before?
No, I didn't.
I did not know that.
We do have a lot of rare breeds this year.
Yeah, you got the show,
big numbers. We have specials in these breeds. I mean, specials. We have majors in these breeds, which is really incredible for the handlers.
You have got 1,400 dogs this year, right?
More than that.
More than
counting the specialties on Saturday.
Lord, and it's going to be at the Trademark, by the way, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
When people come to look for it, the confirmation part is in the Coliseum. So if you go around to the back, it's easier to. And we have the first bay of the Trademark. We're hoping to expand that next year. We need more space, but we have. So we're in one bay for the obedience and rally, and then the confirmations in the Coliseum, and all the vendors be in the Coliseum. Yeah, maybe the hall.
It's a great problem to have. Our show's just expanding. Like crazy, compared to where we were at last year because of the factors that we talked about, the specialty, the date. We've got an excellent panel of judges, and I think all of those things have come in a great venue, and I think all of those things have come together to really kind of supercharge our show.
I say people.
So we're excited about it.
So many of the dogs, they want to get to Westminster, and you got to get points to get to Westminster, and then. As I describe it to people, it's like you're on a circuit. A lot of these people, they're on circuits. They go to various towns, and along the way, they pick up local dogs. So you've come to Jackson, Mississippi, and maybe some Mississippi dogs could get into that upper echelon. Well, like your Frenchies, as a matter of fact, like that. And so, but everybody wants to go to Westminster, which is like in what, February?
It is.
Is it too late to get in this year? Shouldn't be.
It is.
I think the entries have already closed for the garden, but
one thing I always like to say is that truthfully, every one of these shows is of Westminster. Yeah. Really, it's exactly in the dog world. Westminster is more prestigious, but it's a show just like these shows.
And there's a lot of great dogs who don't go to who don't wind up at Westminster for whatever reason, date, logistics, whatever. But each one of these dog shows follows the exact same format as Westminster, right? The dogs compete in their breeds. The winners of those breeds go in and compete in those groups. And the winners of those groups go in and compete in Best in Show. And then depending on how many dogs you defeat, the AKC, the American Kennel Club, who is the organization that is a registry for the oldest registry in the country for purebred dogs, and sanctions these shows, then tabulates the number of dogs that you defeated, and those are the points that you get. And then that's how major show dogs are ranked all over the country. And so that's how you get, a number one Great Dane or a number one working dog or a number one dog all breeds.
Well, the thing that's so cool about this, there's so many aspects of it, but people, the public, and I want you all out there to really, come on, you come and see this, because people can come and watch all this. You get to see all these things. You get to see, all the Frenchies in this ring over here, or the short hairs over here, or the Danes over here.
And you can go in the grooming area and get up close and personal and talk to them.
That's the thing. You get to go and see. The thing that cracks me up is the poodle grooming, because all groomed dogs have to sit on tables pretty much to get, and they'll sit there and they don't move. And if the handler has to go away to do something, those dogs are sitting there, and you couldn't lure that dog away for anything because they're supposed to sit there on that table. But you can talk with these people. Like I was telling you, I used to talk with a guy who would bring Sally Lynn English Springers, because we had one in my family. I always see him every year. Various other people. I remember one year there was a woman who was grooming. I'm not sure what it was. It was a long-haired dog of some sort. Anyway, she was from Houston, and they just had a flood. And I said, gosh, how are you doing with that? And she said, I had to get away from it. I just had to come here and work with dogs. Just had to be with dogs, that kind of stuff. That's
therapy.
It is. It is. But you can talk and learn about these things.
You can. Yeah. And one thing I want to mention is I can't tell you how many years I have held or been up close with the winner of Westminster at our show. Almost guarantee you that you'll see one of the group winners or even the Best in Show winner of this upcoming Westminster at our show.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we have some very serious dogs coming, and very serious dog people. And, I kind of want to touch on a little bit about, there's this misconception, I think, in a lot of people who have not had the opportunity to go to dog shows before, that it is just like a beauty pageant, that you just walk in and it's arbitrary, and I like this dog more than this dog, and that's really not at all what dog shows are about. I mean, dog shows are really about the evaluation of breeding stock. That's why they were created back in the mid-1800s, right?
Is that how old the dog showing in this country is? The AKC, are that old?
Yeah. The AKC started in 1878, I believe. And the first dog registered to the AKC was a dog named Adonis. It was an English setter, and then it just progressed from there. And it was really about the evaluation of breeding stock, because the thought is that dogs that do a particular job very well, that's how dog breeds got started, tend to produce other dogs that have the features to do that job very well. And so dog shows became a venue to evaluate those traits and select those dogs that could then have the best traits of their breed to pass on to their offspring. And that really is the central kind of guiding light around which all dog shows are organized. And so, when those different breeds come in, they're judged by people who are experts in recognizing those traits and judge them against a standard which is written by their national breed club. So it is not at all just an arbitrary thing.
Correct.
There's some meat to it.
And another point to make also is the beauty contest part of it, if we want to call it that, will be in the Coliseum.
Confirmation.
And then the obedience, rally, agility, all of that, which is not the beauty part of it, but that will be in the trademark bay. So, and that's, those are the titles. But so
and it's there's so many things to watch, like handlers, for instance. The dog, I would think if you think your dog would be good at showing, maybe not you'd show it, but maybe you'd find a handler. Well, anyway, that dog learns to watch that handler at all times, pretty much. I mean, they're not trained to go looking around like, oh, let's play with this dog.
Yeah, it's like any dog that has a job. If you've ever trained your dog, not just for conformation, but for any job,
killing lizards,
hunting dog. Yeah, yours is an expert in that, Mary.
He is.
They learn they become very, the handlers develop very close relationships with these dogs, and they become very in sync with each other. And that's another huge advantage of, I also want to say, like, there, of course, is a spectrum of personalities even within a breed. But breeds tend to have similar traits, right?
Right.
And so that can be a wonderful tool in deciding what dog fits very well into your family, right? If you are a really active family, if you like doing a lot of outdoor things, a dog with a lot of energy, very active, very athletic, a sporting dog could be great. If you're more of an indoor family, a little more relaxed,
sedentary or whatever.
I didn't want to use that word, but you like hanging out around the house. Maybe a toy breed, maybe a breed with a little lower energy is the dog for you. And then, of course, there are a whole range of things that dogs do, right? Hunting, protection, all those things, and you can kind of the different breeds are geared toward that, and then so you can really find a dog that fits with your lifestyle and your family. And dog shows are a great venue for that.
That's where the business about going behind the scenes, I think, and talking with the handlers, the groomers. that's where you can find out about that dog. You might say, I'd like a dog that does this, but not that. Oh, well, okay, then you want this dog, or you may want that dog.
And you get to see breeds that you would otherwise never see or even think about.
Yes.
And the Sholo, and it's a great venue to connect with people that know those dogs, have them, and are serious about them. Even if you're not looking for a show dog, if you're just looking for a pet.
Well, we'll take a break and come back in just a few minutes. I want to bring Lance in because everybody hears him talking about his dog all the time, right? He talked about it a lot here because he's a German short-haired pointer who hunts, but he could show maybe if Lance wanted to do that with the dog. Good luck with that. But anyway, we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Stay where you are.
So it's a beagle.
Not your dog. That's really good.
It's not mine. Yeah, he's actually playing with me. This guy.
Appropriate.
Mary Wieden, can you tell we've gone to the dogs today? Talking about the Magnolia Classic Dog Show, which is Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
No. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Friday,
yes,
Saturday,
ma'am.
Sunday, downtown at the Trademark and Coliseum. And I've got here, two people that you should know about. Adam Protos, he's in real life a cardiologist, surgeon.
Yeah, cardiac surgeon. Yeah,
cardiac surgeon.
UMC.
Yes, but he's a Great Dane lover, a Great Dane owner, and now a Great Dane judge. Are you judging in the show at all, by the way?
No. Because it's our show and all that stuff. I'll be working most of the time. So yeah. But I judge all over the country for Great Danes, which is
pretty cool.
Neat. You get to see lots of good dogs.
And Roxanna Hillsman, she is the chairman of the show. She is the president of the Mississippi Kennel Club, and she's a Frenchie owner. And a lot of famous
more than that, yeah. Breeder, exhibitor,
owner, breeder,
all
that. Well, you're not doing it this now. But do you still show your dogs?
Oh, I do.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's been kind of slow the last year or so, but yeah, I do.
It's a lifelong sickness for all of us.
It is.
It's a lifelong affliction.
We need to go to meetings or something.
Well, let's use Lance's dog, who is a German short-haired pointer. Well, I think he's about a year and a half old now, isn't he? His name is Hawk. He's a German short-haired pointer, and you'll see a picture of him on your. By the way, I forgot to tell the audience, that we do live stream. So at SuperTalk.fm/Mary, you can see that. The whole world can see this, which is what we like. That's what we like about that. But he's in training for hunting. But I like to hear about dogs that work. I think that's really wonderful. So, and he's a working dog, but can he show and do many of your show dogs work in real life?
He would do more of the field work, right? I mean,
he could do confirmation.
He could do obedience.
He's a pretty boy too now.
I will also say,
beauty salon.
He could do any of it.
Like Roxanne was saying during the break, these are not just purebred dogs; they're purpose-bred dogs. A lot of these dogs, like we were saying, the traits they have that make them excellent examples of their breed are the traits that they need to have to be excellent at the job they were bred to do. That's kind of part and parcel with the whole thing. So yes, there's lots of show dogs that actually then have real working jobs and are really dual purpose dogs. And so you'll see a lot of those dogs at our all the dogs at the dog show this weekend, and we're really excited about it because, like, if you're just tuning in, we wanted to say our dog show is going to have almost 1,500 dogs. We have over 1,400 dogs, which is a huge increase. Huge. Yeah, it's a big dog show, and it's at the Coliseum and the Trademark, and not just confirmation, which is the breed part of it, but we also have a host of events that people can come out, learn about, get interested in, see dogs they're interested in. Events like rally, agility, obedience.
Which his dog could do, as well trained as he is. He could do that.
Oh, yeah, right.
Really?
Lance is absolutely.
Is it obedience? Is that the one? I think that's my favorite thing, where you have a lineup of dogs. This is so amazing. Dogs are so fabulous. I don't think we know half of what's in their brains, but obedience, where you might have different breeds that might have 10 dogs, and they are to sit there. The owners bring them up, or the handlers, they bring them up and they sit them down, and they're supposed to sit with not moving or anything like that, and for a period of time, because then the handlers go away and the dogs are all there by themselves, and they're not supposed to get up and play.
Oh my gosh,
I've seen that happen.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Once in a while, a dog will get up, and the other ones, they move their eyes like, don't do that. So then the handlers come back, and then they're to lie down, I think, for a period of time, and it's just amazing to watch that. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, and it's actually a true competition. I have to give credit to our members and competitors that do a lot of obedience. There's whole levels of obedience training, all the way up to an obedience champion. And as you progress up those levels, the commands and the sequences of things that you have to complete get more and more complex. And so obviously the training gets more and more involved. So there are some people that have just become really committed to it and are quite excellent at it.
When you have agility, you have weave poles, right?
Yeah.
Do you do that with Frenchies, Roxanne?
I personally don't, and I applaud the people who do.
But people do.
Yeah, they do. And not only, for Frenchies to be able to be that active is incredible. And I will say I breed very healthy Frenchies, but a lot of Frenchies really, you would think, wouldn't be up to it, but boy, they have the drive.
Same thing with
Great Danes.
Great Danes love that, yeah, and same thing with them. But all dogs, they usually almost all healthy, well-bred dogs can pretty much do anything, at different levels of intensity, of course, but can really participate in almost all the events. Like, there are bulldogs that are great agility dogs.
English bulldogs?
Yeah, go to the Bulldog Club of America. You'll see pictures of it. It's a true story.
Soundness is something handlers, we can look at a dog moving in the ring and, that dog has a bad patella. Look, that spine is not great on that dog. We can see things in our dogs that these people.
The rest of us do.
That's all about going back to what we said in the first segment. Is this really is built around the evaluation of breeding stock, and dog shows.
We only want to breed the soundest dogs,
the soundest, healthiest dogs that are the best examples of their breed, and dog shows are really the ideal venue for that. And so that's what you'll see if you come down this weekend. You'll see all of that going on, the breed judging and the competitions.
Come on, people. I would think that judging best in show, that's a challenge, because you got one from each category, everything from Great Danes on down to, I don't know, the little hairless, Mexican hairless,
the toy group.
The T9Cs ones of all. But they're not competing against each other. The best, as I understand it, this is right, the best in show, best fits its standards.
Correct.
So that judge has got to know what all the standards are for every breed. You got to do all that. And then whichever of those dogs matches its standards the best.
And on that day, too, how it performs.
This is another thing, too, that day.
They might pick another dog out of that group if it was the next day, out of that lineup. If it was, so it's...
And I really want to make sure people understand this is not just a beauty pageant. Like you said, those dogs are being judged not just against each other, but against what is the ideal specimen of their breed. So it's not.
But it's kind of a beauty contest.
It's not. I like the.
But they all look pretty good.
But what sets the definition of quote beauty is what is this breed supposed to have, right?
And how sound is it? And how does he move? And what is it? Yeah.
And so, and that is set by the standard, which is something real and not arbitrary. And the judge judging it has to be an expert in that standard to be approved to judge that breed.
And by the way, a lot of the dogs who get into like Westminster and whatever that one is on Thanksgiving Day that they don't show enough of.
Yeah.
But
the national.
they can be elderly. I mean, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9 years old. I've seen them.
And they do have a veterans class too.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Well, I think
I've seen them kind of put together with all of them.
Well, I think the Sussex Spaniel that won 10 or 15 years ago, Stump.
I was just going to say Stump.
Larry.
No, it was Scott Summers' dog.
Oh, it was Scott.
Yeah, it was Scott Summers.
Didn't Larry win with one? No, he was showing one time too.
I can't remember. It's one of those breeds. It's an uncommon breed, but has done a lot of winning.
That's a great breed.
And that dog was, I think, 7 or 9 years old. They brought him out of retirement.
Oh, you're right.
He had a fabulous win.
Do y'all ever see Teckles?
Teckles.
I've just learned about
Is that a name?
Well, it's a style of Dachshund, but it's a wire-haired, long German Dachshund, but it's amazing. It's the best deer tracking dog ever. They're so cool.
Doxies?
It's a Dachshund, but it's
they call it Dockel. They call
it's
it
called
German.
a Teckel.
Yeah, you say Teckel, but the Germans they'll call a Dachshund Dockel.
Well, I'll have to say,
amazing, man. They're so sweet.
My parents had a friend who wanted us to. He wanted my parents to take this. He thought it'd be really great to have with the German Shorthair this wire hair that he had, and his name was Ago. I'll forget that. My mother said, "I don't want a dog named Ago, and I don't really want." But he was a beautiful wire hair.
It's funny you mentioned that because if you're Dachshund people, we have a huge Dachshund specialty that is just Dachshunds.
Oh, that's right.
That has partnered with our show, and so you'll have not only our all breed show, but you have these breed specific shows that collaborate with our show, and they'll all be at the same place this weekend.
How
And
cool.
That's really what has given us such a big entry.
Both sizes on Dachshunds, both sizes and hair.
Wires. Well, there's actually 3 kinds of Dachshunds. There's 3 varieties: wires, smooths, and long hairs. And
the Teckle's the wire.
And the wire-haired. And so you'll see all those dogs. And then I also want to say another great reason that I'm to come down that I'm excited about is we have so many great vendors at our dog show
and you can get things there you can't find at PetSmart.
Can't get anywhere else,
locally.
And the quality is higher, and it's really professional grade.
This is where the professionals get their supplies at the shows with those vendors.
Okay,
so it's a
whether
great
everything from nail clippers to
everything,
whatever you want.
including things like I bring my knives because we have a sharpener there.
What are the dates again? Just so if people are just tuning
17th through the 19th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
17,
I also
18,
want to give a shout out to our 2 corporate sponsors who've been with us through our lean years, and that's Richard Schwartz and Associates and Mercedes of Jackson.
Okay.
They have stuck with us when we weren't doing so
thick
well.
and thin,
and then we
can't say enough about them, and also so really, I mean, I just want to telegraph: if you are a dog lover, no matter if you have purebreds, mixed breed dogs, companion animals, obedience, conformation, there is really, if you are a dog lover, there is something for everybody down at the dog show.
It's a great thing. I just love walking around looking at all of them. Like I say, I start off with the German Shorthair, then I go to the English Springer, then I go to the other ones, because those were my famous family dogs.
And our raffle, don't forget our raffle.
Oh gosh, the raffle.
Yeah, Adam has donated $100
Don't get
bottle
crazy,
of
Roxanna.
scotch. we have booze buckets per raffle and all kinds of stuff.
And great dog products we put in our raffle baskets. So and it's fun. And you just buy raffle tickets and you participate.
Each day we have a raffle.
Yeah,
it's
anybody
fun.
anybody can win. And
we're known
it's a
for
good
our
thing.
raffles.
Do you have food?
We have food. We have everything in our raffle. It's
I mean, they're like burgers and stuff like that.
They have the trademark
that's right. They got
burgers.
the trademark.
We'll have all of our vendors and concessions open, and we provide complimentary donuts and coffee in the morning for our exhibitors and spectators.
And we're very patriotic. We start with the national anthem. Every dog show, before anything starts, we have the national anthem. That's one really cool thing.
Yeah, because it really is the American Kennel Club.
It is.
And so we really honor that.
I was thinking one time, I like to hand strip my dog. I just think that looks better because she's a smoothie, but...
He's going through.
Well...
Learning all about that.
Oh, it's really great.
Well, because Scotties they're a hard-coated breed.
Yes,
and so they need to be stripped, and a lot of the hard-coated terrier breeds need that.
She's a smoothie, but her or one of her daughters, it was her mother was long-haired. Oh, God, it was terrible. It was terrible, too much hair. And her daddy, she when she was younger, she was almost like a broken coated, but anyway, but hand stripping, and you do it by hand, but there's also a knife you can get. There is a stripping knife, but I'm afraid to get one of those because I figure I might cut her or cut myself, so I haven't got one, but I learned to do it by hand, and she'll stand there, which is amazing for a Jack Russell.
Yeah, and
you can buy all that at the dog show.
And you buy all that at the dog show, so we'll have a lot of specialty grooming
do your own
products.
Nails? You do your own nails?
Oh, yeah, I grind them, with the Dremel. With the Dremel tool.
Okay.
And,
I have white toenail dogs. I just clip them.
Yeah, you can see the quick. Yes. But, that's the other reason we were talking a little bit about it. Like, you really get to meet, even if you are not intending to show your dog, you get to meet serious dog people that know a lot about dogs and a lot about specific breeds of dogs that can teach you about them and show you some tricks of the trade, no matter what you're doing with your dog.
Okay, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Trademark and Coliseum, the Magnolia Class. Come on down. And by the way, don't bring your own dogs. The only dogs that are allowed are the ones that are in the show. So, but.
Here we go.
Be sure to do that. I'm going to meet Teresa, and Teresa's listening today. We all know Teresa Gardner.
Hey, Teresa.
And I'm going to meet her on Saturday and be at the show. All right, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. No. We're not
going to have time to change it out.
Okay. Well, we're changing topics here for our final segment. I've got in the studio with me Shelly Hollis, Director of Cyber Education at Mississippi State University. And you've got a cybersecurity event for small business owners this coming Friday. Yes. And welcome, by the way.
Thank you.
I would think that they would be pretty savvy. Maybe not. Because there's so much shenanigans. This is a great popular word going around these days. Shenanigans going on with it, and you just cannot be secure enough.
Right.
What are people doing that's wrong, and what do they need to do right in the cyber business aspect of things?
Well, as you think about small business owners, they're trying to do everything. They're the CEO, the CFO, the CIO, the tech guy, the janitor, everything. So sometimes the aspect of cybersecurity gets overlooked. They're just trying to do business every day, and so making sure that they have some support systems in place to tell them, what are the things I really need to be concerned about. Strong passwords, making a backup copy of all your data. And training your employees on not click on links and things like that. So having that knowledge is really good for every business owner and every employee, really.
It's good for every household, if you ask me.
Absolutely.
I'm astounded at people. They'll say, well, put this out on your text or send me an email. No, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
I think that the medical profession seems to be notorious for that, and I will not do that. I will not put out personal stuff, for the world to see. I will, if you want to know about something about me, you'll find out when I'm there. But I'm not going to telegraph it. I just don't believe in that because God knows, we can be picked on terribly.
Absolutely. Well, we do have secure mechanisms to send, secure data. So there are some ways that you can do it. Again, nothing, Fort Knox can get broken into. So
exactly.
There's nothing that's perfect.
That's just it.
There's nothing that's perfect, but we do have some ways, and there are definitely security measures you can put in place to better secure. If you think about your home, we do things. We lock our doors. We might have an alarm system. We might have a dog, like you were just talking about in your previous segment.
We did.
So there are things we do to secure our home, and we need to make sure that we're thinking about that with our businesses as well, making sure that the data that we maintain, whether it's customer data or our own financial data with our business, our trade secrets, things like that, are kept safe.
If you have to really be careful if you're going to put passwords and if you're going to put financials, that kind of stuff, you really have to be very, very safe. And do you all have that at State, or do you teach people how to get it? How does that work? Have you ever been hacked?
Well, I have. Yes, I have been hacked. Nothing happened really, other than I had to take some malicious software that got installed off my computer. So, but yeah, we do have a degree program that teaches students how to become cybersecurity professionals. So we do have that in place at Mississippi State. We also have some things we're doing with our students to provide services for small businesses. We're taking students out to help assess the small businesses network and their cybersecurity posture, maybe help them write some security policies or develop a system security plan. And we can provide these services free of charge to the small business.
Can you hear just somebody saying, I don't know how to do that. Right. I don't want to do all that. Yes, you do.
Right.
It's not going to hurt you to learn how to do it, right?
That's right. And and when our students come in and help, they get that experience, and then the small business gets the thing they need for free or very little cost to them. And that's what we're hoping to do with this conference.
Yeah.
Is really bring them in and let them hear from experts. We're going to have folks from Homeland Security here in Mississippi. The CISA organization is going to be there, as well as some folks about cyber insurance and managed service providers.
Cyber insurance?
Yes. So you can have, just like you have hurricane insurance or whatever, you can have cyber insurance. Yeah, you really can. And it's a little tricky. It's there's some things, some questions to ask about, do I need this, and how much do I need, and what does it really cover? And we hope to really address some of that at the conference.
Who gets to come to the conference?
Any small business in the state of Mississippi is welcome to attend.
So listen out there, you people. I know a lot of you have your businesses. It's going to be Friday, where, and what times?
It is at the Sheridan Refuge Conference Center in Flowood, Mississippi. It starts at 8 and will end about 3:30. And they can register online. It's a little bit of a long URL, but it's tinyurl.com/cybersecurement2025.
You got to have to say that again.
Okay. tinyurl.com.
Okay. Okay.
/cybersecurement2025.
Cybersecurity MS.
Just cybersecure MS.
Cybersecure MS.
2025.
2025.
That's it.
That's it? Oh, okay. You say tiny URL.
It's just a way to shorten it. It's actually a long Google address, but tiny URL lets you shorten that and make
Meaning small letters. I mean, duh, right?
Yeah.
Or do you say the word? I mean, I guess I'm stupid about certain things. You don't write the word tiny.
You do. It's tinyurl.com.
Tiny, tinyurl.com, and then Cybersecure MS 2025.
Yep. Okay,
so that's how they can find out about it. And it's free. Is it free to them?
It's free to them. They get free lunch, and they also get a binder of a bunch of resources, templates, and training tips and things like that.
Well, I would think that that people, what is this, Tuesday? They have plenty of time to plan ahead. I would think anybody's got a business needs to come and do this.
Yes.
I think there's probably a crying need for this.
It is. And unfortunately, a lot of small business owners will think, I don't need that. Nobody's interested in me. But that's not true at all. We know that probably of the small businesses that get attacked, 60% of them don't reopen if they've been hit by ransomware.
Because I know, what does that do to it? If ransomware gets in your system, then what happens?
Well, what they do is they ransom your data. They get into your system and lock down all your data, and you can't get access to it. So you can't do invoicing. You can't receive customer orders. You can't do anything with your data because they've got it locked down. And they want you to pay them some amount, whether it's $2,000, $10,000, or $100,000. And, you can pay it, and maybe you get it back. Maybe you don't. And if you do get it back, nothing's keeping them from selling it to somebody else.
Do people like that ever get caught?
I think they do.
That's a whole.
But it's hard.
Need to. Mm-hmm. Well, they need to. They bounce around. It's kind of like the people that are involved in human trafficking, for instance.
Yeah.
They'll pop up here and they'll pop up there. A bunch of them will be over here and then they're busted. At least they'll get busted, but then they pop up someplace else.
Yeah.
So these people just get to do this, right? Who don't have anything better to do but go around doing stuff like this.
Unfortunately, it's just a new way of sort of smash and grab kind of robbery today, but it's just over the internet. And but if a business gets attacked, they can call the FBI, they can call CISA.
What's that?
The CISA is the Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency, and we've got a local representative here in Mississippi, and then of course the FBI. And they're not out to get you or put you on a list or put you on the front page. They really want to help, and they keep it confidential. So don't be afraid to reach out if you get compromised and ask for help.
I bet a lot of people are afraid to do that. I bet they're very afraid to do that. Mm-hmm. Well, why? If you're not doing, if you're a legal business, you're not doing anything shady. Go get some help if you get it.
Right, but I mean, like school districts, sometimes they'll get breached, and they're afraid to reach out for help because that creates a big concern for the community. But if they don't let somebody know, we can't learn from it and we can't help them. So it's really important to reach out and get help.
How long have you been doing this, by the way?
Well, my degree's in computer science, but I've been learning more about cyber over the past 4 or 5 years, getting more and more involved in that, working with our Mississippi Cyber Initiative, which is a great collaborative across the state that helps all the stakeholders in the state understand more about what we need to do with cyber.
Do you ever work with large, like hospital, like for instance, hospitals?
Well, through that Mississippi Cyber Initiative, those larger groups are all part of that collaboration. Now they've got their own lots of people doing their technology and their cybersecurity, so they don't often need outside help. So that's why we're focused on the small businesses, small school districts, even local rural community government. So you've got some small town government, and they need to protect their utilities and their financial records and personal data that they keep on all their community.
It's not hard stuff to learn, is it?
No.
This is another thing. Like, I got to learn my own business. I can't do it.
Yeah,
you got to learn it though.
You do, and it's not hard. It's just time consuming. There's so many times that when we go in and sit down with these small businesses, that's the first time they really thought through it methodically and purposefully. So it's just time.
And they can do it in the evening if they're open during the day. Or, you can, if it's to protect your company, I would think you will make the time. You'll find the time to do it. And you'll find the time to go to this, too, by the way. How many people can you accommodate Friday?
We are hoping to have upwards of 150 people there. So
good. I hope you get a lot more. I hope you get people off of the show who are listening. Like, go ahead and do that. And they're not going to lock you in and trap you there all day long. I'm sure. You'll be able to carry on with your business and your life. But you ought to do that.
Oh, I hope so. Please join us. Definitely, we'd love for you to stay all day and enjoy lunch. But we know you got a business to run, so come and go as you can, and we'd love to have you there.
Absolutely. Boy, we got stuff going on in our town, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Between cybersecurity and dog shows, we're a very busy area. Have you worked with people around here before, the Jackson area?
Yes. So I work through my role at the university. I help. Part of what I do is also teach K-12 teachers how to teach computer science. So we work with schools all across the state, and then we've been working with small businesses all across the state as well.
What just out of curiosity, are people into Intel stuff or Apple, or does it matter?
It's a mixed bag, whether you're talking about a Windows system or an Android or an Apple or an iPhone. Even within my team, we've got a debate. I've got an Android phone. My other team members have an iPhone, and we're constantly arguing with each other about when it doesn't work, it's because it's an iPhone, or no, it's because it's an Android. So it's a Mac problem. So.
Oh, okay, kind of fun. I have in the past. I've had to call the Apple people, and before they got a sophisticated phone system within the last couple of years, I call and they go, "Hello, Mary, how are you?" And I go, "Oh dear," the very amenable people to work with, by the way. Well, all right. So Shelly Hollis, okay, it's this coming Friday at the Refuge,
yes.
And it's cybersecurity for small businesses. Y'all go there. That's not going to cost you anything except your time, and that will save you some money.
Absolutely,
I will guarantee what you will learn and what you'll take away from that will save you some money.
Yes, thank you for having me, Mary.
Glad to have you. Good luck. And hey, everybody, enjoyed talking with you today. See you on Friday.